Vladimir Fedoseev from Russia is the leader after day 2 at the World Rapid Championship in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. After day 1 he was the co-leader with Badr, but he beat him in the first round on day 2. And we'll have a look at this game against Yuri Kuzubov from the 7th round. So he managed to win 2 games with the white pieces on day 2, and then he drew his remaining 3 games, but he's the only one with 8 points out of 10 and is chased by 3 players on 7.5. So Fedoseev had white and he played d4 as he has been doing for the whole of this tournament. c4, e6, knight f3 and d5. Black goes for the Queen's Gambit declined, and Fedoseev plays g3, which is the Catalan. We see bishop b4 check from black, bishop d2 and bishop back to e7. Now the reason for apparently losing his tempo and going bishop b4 and back to e7 is that black argues that in most cases the bishop that white put here on d2 would rather be on b2 and fianchettoed. So this is how opening theory develops. Black feels that this is to his benefit, so this is a common move here in these positions. Bishop g2 by white, fianchettoing, and both sides get castled. c6, and black signals he wants to play the closed Catalan, not take on c4. And the reason for that is mostly because in the closed Catalan, white's most common plan is b3 and bishop e2. But to do that now, he'd have to lose some time with his pieces. I think Fedoseev went for an interesting plan here. He played a4, advancing on the queen side. b6 by Kuzubov. Knight to a3. Adding some protection to the c4 pawn. Bishop b7. And now b4. And Fedoseev has advanced all his pawns on the queen side. And threatening to gain some space there and open up some active operations. After knight e4, in modern chess, grandmasters care a lot about their bishop pair, so Fedoseev retreats to e1, even though it looks somewhat passive. We have a5 from Kuzubov, and Fedoseev took on a5. He followed it up with knight to e5. And now bishop a6 from Kuzubov. Perhaps he should have played knight d7 here to get his last piece out. But he went for bishop a6. After c5. Probably a bad move by black now. He has some problems because he can't develop this knight because you're dropping this pawn here on c6. So what to do? Kuzubov went with f6. The problem with this is that you're weakening this e6 pawn considerably, and also this diagonal here, which turns out to be one of the decisive factors in this game. Now a very nice move by Fedoseev. He played knight e to c4. And this is on pre, but this can't be taken. It can be taken, but you're not winning your piece. One question is, can I play knight takes f2 first and then take on c4, trying to win a pawn? No, you can't, because I just played queen c2. I will win this pawn next. After that, the pawns will be equal, and white will have an overwhelming position. And this here, it's too weak. So knight d to c4. Actually, Kuzubov took on c4, knight takes, and knight d7, finally getting his last piece out. But white has the bishop pair, and most importantly, the light squared bishop. But that makes it surprising that he gives it up here with bishop takes e4. But the reason he does that is that black is left with a lot of vulnerable pawns, and the absence of black's light squared bishop is very bad, because once the queen arrives here, this pawn is just, it's toast. And well, we can also add the weakness here on a5 really. So a lot of pawn weaknesses, and white, after only 18 moves, he has an overwhelming possession here. But Kuzubov tried to get some counterplay, but after knight takes a5, he's already in trouble. He played bishop f6. You can't play rook takes a5. I will take back, and then I take on e6 with check. And this drops the knight as well. So white is up the exchange and a bunch of pawns here, so that should be winning. Kuzubov tried bishop f6. And Fedoseev took another pawn. King h8. And now rook b1. He can leave this because the queen is hitting the knight on d7. Queen c8. e3. And now some counterplay with tactics, but I think Fedoseev didn't mind because he gets to exchange queens. Now of course the Swiss and Zug knight f3, otherwise the piece would drop. King g2 and rook takes c8. But of course white is just 2 pawns up here. The threat now is knight takes e1, and this guy doesn't have a defender, so he goes to c4. Rook takes a4 and knight d6. Knight to b6 is an option, but black can now pin this knight, so you're not winning any material just yet. But you still have a very good position, and you're up a pawn. Instead, Fedoseev went with the stronger move, knight to d6. Rook f8. He gobbles up another pawn on f5. Rook a2. Knight d6, back to the strong point on d6. And attacking the e4 pawn, which seems like it shouldn't be lasting long, but Kuzubov tries to hold on. He plays rook e2. And okay, you can take on e4, but black then takes on d4. And okay, white is still winning, but you have better ways to win this. So instead, white played bishop to c3, as we saw there. Bishop g5 by black, targeting the e3 pawn, so white still doesn't have time to take on e4, but he plays rook b2. And now Kuzubov goes for some counterplay with knight to e1, but it's too little too late. Fedoseev simply calculated and took, but if you're afraid of anything, you can just play king h1. And let's make it, because it's a variation, let's make it variation color. You can play king h1. And everything is protected. Black is forced to trade rooks next. And you just up the 2 pawns, and black still has this weakness. But he simply calculated that taking the knight is fine. Took with the rook. Rook takes f2, king h3. And while it's true that black can take here, white will simply move his king up here, and there's nothing further. Black took on b2 and resigned after the simple knight f7 check. Little fork to end the game. He will take the bishop on g5 next, and then the pawn on e4. And this is too much material at this level, so black resigned. So a very easy looking win for Fedoseev. He's been playing very well and very convincing with the white pieces, is what I was trying to say. And we'll see. I mean, he's been playing some tough players. Can he hold ground tomorrow? Most likely at some stage he will have to meet Magnus, and we'll see if he can hold on. It will be exciting.